It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Look who is back.
That's right. I got a big old tan, right?
You got a big old tan and a big old beard, baby.
Well, it needs to come in a little bit more. It's still a bit scraggly.
Back from the beaches, Uncle C is back, and it's time for this week's cup of coffee from Slumberland at the Lake. Hey, we're going to have a special guest in. We're going to have Dylan McNerney with the DMAC Impact Foundation to tell us about a really cool upcoming event. Fundraiser. You got some time for some 3-on-3?
Nope. I'm too old for that crap now, man. But I'll watch you. I'll come watch you.
I'm trying to field my 3-on-3 team so I can participate in this tournament we're going to tell you about. Plus some cool lake area headlines. We're going to look around the lake area basketball realm as we embark on the final month of the season. Plus, if you're thinking about sports, there's probably no local teams you're thinking of, right?
Right.
How about those Chiefs, baby?
Oh, man. I tell you what, they've done it again. You know, fooled us all thinking they were not as good as they are, and they're back in the Super Bowl now.
We'll talk all about that and some upcoming events around the lake after this from Slumberland at the Lake.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Still have our huge clearance sale going on. Not only do we have mattresses and adjustable bases on sale, but we've got furniture for every room of the house. Sofas, recliners, dining sets. Come check it out, Slumberland at the Lake. Save tons of money and even do 0% interest financing. Come see us, Slumberland Furniture at the Lake, where we're bringing happy home.
And as we welcome you back to Slumberland at the Lake, don't hesitate to stop in and see the sales. Make sure you tell them that we sent you. When you do, now as we move forward in this week's show, as promised, I got Dylan McNerney with the DMAC Impact Foundation. And Dylan, I have just found out a little bit from Joe Caesar, who I know works with you guys, about the DMAC Impact Foundation and your guys' first annual event. So I'm excited to have you on, and I want to start by allowing you to tell us a little bit about DMAC Impact and Dason McNerney, who I understand super near and dear to you, and this cause is incredibly important. So tell us about it, if you would.
Absolutely. So first of all, thanks a bunch for having us on here. DMAC Impact Foundation, I'm the vice president. My name is Dylan McNerney, like he mentioned. Our mission is to support individuals and families that have been affected by Crohn's disease, which is something that Dason struggled with for a good chunk of his life there. We've had a ton of people helping us along the way, but our main the people driving the bus, if you will, myself, my wife Amanda McNerney, my parents David and Susan McNerney, my sister and her husband Alyssa and Skylar Gam, and then a handful of Dason's friends, but Joe Caesar and Colby and Kelsey Lehman, kind of the main ones there. The idea sparked back in the springtime of last year, and then we officially kind of got the ball rolling in August. But really the main motivation and the goals were to give Dason a platform to help support people that are affected by the same things that he was affected by, as well as just, like I said, give him a platform to still make an impact on the community.
Everyone that I hear speak of Dason McNerney has amazing things to say about the impact he made and what he meant to them. And so for you guys knew him, know of him. So tell us about Dason McNerney.
Yeah, so my brother was a super charismatic guy. Dason, he was a magnet of a person. A lot of people were attracted to his personality. He's one of those guys that was always organizing, getting people together and just being social. That all kind of changed when he got diagnosed with Crohn's in 2009. It's something that can be a very isolating disease, something that it seems like a lot of people don't understand the symptoms that come with it and things like that. So for those of you that don't know, Crohn's it's a debilitating disease that affects the digestive tract, causes severe inflammation, and that comes with just chronic pain. So it's something that, like I said, Dason dealt with for a good chunk of his life. I believe it was 2009 that he got diagnosed with Crohn's when he was 20 years old. And again, it's just something that he battled throughout his life. There was no matter what we seemed to try, it never seemed to consistently work for him. There's tons of different options out there. again, they all come with a laundry list of different side effects and things like that. So tons of things that come with that. And we never really could seem to get it under control for Dason. The flip side of that, something that's not talked about a lot within the Crohn's community is something that we like to call the ripple effect. And what that is, there's 1.6 million people that are affected by Crohn's in America. 1 in 6 of those people will fall victim to addiction just from trying to manage those symptoms. So that's something that with our foundation, we're really focused on trying to make an impact specifically there and close that gap a little bit. So yeah, that's just another area that we want to impact for sure.
You guys are really hoping to make a big difference and prevent other families from having the same journey. Now, for you guys, you chose a 3-on-3 basketball tournament kind of as a big event, which I know is important to you, Dason, his circle of friends. So tell us about the fundraising event coming up, the Dace Jam Weekend, which I know is creating some buzz.
Yeah. So Dason was always, not just basketball, always real into a bunch of different sports, but specifically basketball. When he passed away, there was a bunch of people who wrote stories in and things like that, which, by the way, thank you, was super, super heartwarming to read those. But the majority of those were based around basketball in some way or fashion. Growing up, me and Dason were always either downstairs playing NBA hang time on the Nintendo or outside. We'd put the sprinklers on, play basketball outside. His friends would come over late at night. We'd line up the cars and put headlights on to play late or early in the morning. So we knew that when we wanted to start the foundation that it was kind of a no-brainer that it had to be centered around basketball in some way or another. And we think that a 3-on-3 tournament is a great way to do that.
That's incredible, and I know basketball is big down here in the Lake area. It's the first annual Dace Jam Weekend on March 16th, as you alluded to, at Osage High School. There's also a silent auction and dinner that night, which is going to be pretty cool. And so as I look at all this information, I know there's people out there that first they want to sign up. They also might want to sponsor the event. I know there's some great sponsorship opportunities, but there might be people out there who just have questions and who might be walking that walk and dealing with Crohn's disease or someone in their family. And so through your guys' foundation, are there resources or people they can reach out to, or you guys would be willing to talk with them?
Absolutely, and I would start by just saying come to our event first of all, because if you don't plan on spending a dime or helping us towards that, that's fine. Just come be around the community. There's going to be some familiar faces there. And yeah, there should be some resources there. We're going to have the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation there that will have their own booth. Hopefully but yeah, we'll be able to spread some knowledge on that front as well.
Very cool. So this is going to be the first annual big weekend, and then hoping to make this an annual event, correct?
Yep.
And really continue to grow the DMAC Impact Foundation. So in the short term, awesome event, but what are your guys' plans moving forward? I mean, I know that this is important to you and your family, and so what do you guys see the DMAC Impact Foundation turning into?
The things that we want to affect, we've kind of zeroed in on a few things for this year. First of all, we want to help fund a few community scholarships.
Okay.
So first, any kids trying to enter the mental health field, that's really what we're trying to do. We're going to be funding 3 local scholarships on that front. And then the other side of that, so we are going to be, you probably have never heard of it, it's called Camp Oasis. So we're going to be funding kids that will be attending Camp Oasis, which is a camp that is run by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, specifically for kids with Crohn's and IBD. Our goal there is really, when we look back at it, we think that if Dason would have had more of a support group going into him having Crohn's and things like that, people to lean on, people that were dealing with the same thing, that maybe we wouldn't be here today. And on the flip side of that too, as a family, maybe we could have seen more ways to be supportive in that way as well. So those are the 2 things that we've kind of zeroed in for this year to make an impact, but we really do want to kind of expand as well to the ripple effect that I had alluded to earlier. We're just not totally sure how we're going to do that this year, but we're trying to transition to that.
Well, Dylan, I got to tell you, I appreciate you coming on, taking the time to share with us. I applaud your courage and your ability to continue to move forward in the honor of your brother and all that he was and all the people he impacted. And listen, guys, this is going to be an incredible weekend. There's a chance that we're going to be there March 16th. You can go to dmacimpact.org, sign up, find out more. For Dylan and your entire team, my friend, thank you so much.
Thanks a bunch for having us.
Absolutely. Hey, we'll be right back on Cup of Coffee after this.
We'll start off the month of February with a high school basketball bang on Lake TV. Friday night, February 2nd, old rivals get together with Eldon at Versailles, presented by the Bruce and Kelly team, Remax Lake of the Ozarks. Be sure to catch all the action live on all 5 Lake TV platforms. Join us for the COMC pregame show just before tip-off, Friday, February 2nd, right around 6:50. It's Eldon and Versailles, only on Lake TV.
All right, so as we welcome you back, I got to say, I enjoyed getting to meet Alyssa and Dylan, Alyssa Gammon, Dylan McNerney with the DMAC Impact Foundation. Of course, it was their brother, Dason, who lost his battle. And now this fundraising effort and this organization, this nonprofit, is an effort to spread awareness and help others going through that battle. But admirable individuals, and I'm looking forward to that Dace Jam weekend, March 16th. I'm thinking about playing in that tournament.
Yeah, and you know, Crohn's disease is such a terrible thing. It's a terrible disease. It's such a good cause. You know, feel free to jump in on that and have some fun. And you love what they're doing. You know, they're kind of mixing fun and a great cause for a great, charity there. So jump in on that. Have some fun with that, and that'll help a lot of people.
Absolutely. Go to dmacimpact.org again to find out. So hard to believe. You just came back from the sunny beaches, and it was a little colder than normal, but as you get back to Missouri, you had heard about the ice and the crazy freezing temps, and it's kind of refreshing this week, getting a little sunshine, it's warming up. Starting to think about summer yet, Uncle C?
Oh yeah, always thinking about summer, you betcha. Florida was nice, it was good to get away from, when it's really cold back here, and that Monday we were gone was the ice day where everything was iced over, so that was good.
You planned it.
Yeah, pretty much. One thing we did learn on our drive there was a winter storm that we had to drive through, and all the roads were pretty good except for in the state of Mississippi. And they don't treat their roads at all there. So don't go through Mississippi during a winter storm.
Wow.
It's terrible, yeah. And it was funny because we were on ice in Mississippi, and as soon as we hit the Alabama state line, it was clear as a bell. I mean, they weren't even wet. So Mississippi just doesn't even treat their roads.
Wow. Who would have known?
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that back. That's interesting.
There you go.
Don't go to Mississippi if it's nasty out. All right, so as we start looking at this summer, I start thinking about boating. Of course, we're going to have Shootout Offshore. We're going to have Shootout Aquapalooza. But guess what I'm getting excited for?
The doc series.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
It's about that time already for Season 3 of the LOZ featured doc series right here on Lake TV. And listen, we want to feature you in your doc. We're looking for unique, custom, wild, and fun docs, big, small, whatever you've got. We want to feature them on the upcoming series. Through 2 seasons, our series has been viewed by millions of people all over the United States, and you could be next. We'll be shooting in early May to capture 12 more of the coolest docs here at Lake of the Ozarks. And so if you're interested, contact Lake TV now. Go to mylaketv.com, and under our contact form, you'll see a brand new option that says Feature My Doc. You want to select that box and then fill that submission form and send that, and then we'll reach out to you because we're going to start shooting, as I said, in early May and through March and April and maybe sooner. We're going to start reaching out to dock owners and lining up our dock owners. But man, that series has absolutely taken off. It's watched all over the United States, especially here in the Midwest. There's a few people at the Mizzou games that love to watch the dock series that sit in our section at the Mizzou football games that recognized me from the doc series. And so we've loved that series. And, I was asking Andrew last year, could we ever run out of docs for this? And absolutely not, because every year they're building more and more incredible docs. So again, go to mylaketv.com, contact, and select Feature My Doc. We're going to start shooting in May, and we'll be in contact over the next couple of months. And I'm telling you what, I'm so excited about that this year.
Love that series. It's such a great series, and like you said, it's been seen by so many people. Probably our most popular feature series here on Lake TV. So yeah, it'd be great to have you be a part of that.
really excited about that. So this portion of the show, we always talk local headlines and tragic local headline. Everybody saw the pedestrian killed. I didn't want to not touch on that. Really sad situation, and as the report came out, they released more details about the fatal crash that took place on the Grand Glaze Bridge last Wednesday. Authorities say a family was attempting to pick up a Rocky Mountain man who was walking on the Grand Glaze Bridge. In their press release issued Thursday morning, they say 28-year-old Austin McFall was driving his vehicle when he stopped on the bridge to pick up 30-year-old Zachariah Breeden. McFall reportedly moved to the far right lane with his vehicle hazard lights activated. Emma Greitland, 24, was driving her vehicle eastbound when she realized the vehicle was stopped. According to police, she reportedly was unable to avoid and hit Breeden as he was attempting to get into the car. She had hit the rear side of the car, and the Serrano reportedly struck the left side of the car and Breeden. Osage Beach police were dispatched to eastbound 54 about 4 o'clock, and man, there was traffic jam and all kinds of reports. Sad situation, of course. 30-year-old Zachariah Breeden was the one who was hit and killed. So our prayers, condolences go out to the friends and the family of him and everyone involved, including the couple that had stopped to pick him up. Just sad situation, dangerous week around the lake. I saw a couple of fires. You had one at Sunrise Beach, you had one in Roach, and so just those headlines just make you think how precious life is and how thankful we are to have the blessings we have, and in the same breath, lift up those affected by these tragedies these last week. Because, man, it seems like they run in bunches sometimes down here at the lake area, doesn't it?
You know, and the sad thing is everybody involved in that is going to be altered for the rest of their life.
Oh, sure.
You know, there was obviously a fatality, and that affects his family and him and stuff. But think about the family in the car that stopped to pick him up. They're never going to get over that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hopefully they'll deal with it well and stuff, but that will always be a part of their lives.
Yeah.
And the young lady that hit them, you know, that's going to be tough. She's going to have to forgive herself and all that, you know, so it's so tragic. So throw your prayers onto that situation.
Yeah.
And it is very sad, very tragic.
So like I said, you had a couple of house fires. I think later last week, you were gone for this, but there was like a runaway Tritoon cruiser on
Really?
the
Wow.
lake.
Another one.
Yeah,
Jeez,
so just
Manise.
crazy headlines. And one of the headlines I saw was from LOZ Sports Network. They were focusing on Ryder Williams from the Versailles
yeah.
Tigers.
Yeah.
He passed his brother, Kobe Williams, as the second all-time leading scorer and only trails Barry Laurie for the all-time leading scorer. The reason I say that is because I'm looking around the Lake area basketball teams, and we're now on our final month of the regular season and really final 3 weeks before those district tournaments start. Kind of wild.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And here on Lake TV, I think we've got 6 games in February for you, starting with the next 2 Friday nights. February 2nd, we've got Eldon at Versailles. So we'll see Mr. Williams, Ryder Williams, up close and personal there. Versailles is one of the best teams in the state.
And that's this Friday coming up, depending on when you see the show on the 2nd. Also, Mike Bissell night. And if you want to be there early, they're going to have Osage at Versailles girls. So you got 3 lake area schools under one roof. And I was looking at our remaining schedule. And then I was looking at, man, we've got some teams here on the lake area that are doing exceptionally well. Max Creek girls, 16-3.
One of the best teams in the state, ranked number 6 in the state,
Versailles, now they're 13-3. They lost to Eugene again in the Eldon semifinals of the tournament. That's 2 times Eugene has beat them. So Eugene has given them 2 of their 3 losses this year. And for the Tipton girls with Jason Culpepper, 19-2.
Yeah, and they're the defending state champions. The 2 losses is kind of a surprise because
Skyline
they're
is one
so
of them.
good. Yeah, Skyline's ranked number 1 this year. So, some great teams. And Versailles has gotten votes for the top 10. They're a really, really good team. So, I'm excited about it. And this is my favorite time of the year for high school sports because I love the high school basketball state tournament. Just love that, to go and watch all those great games.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's in a few years when I'm, probably like 2027, 28, that'll go back to being our annual trip. We got to do that one time. It was a blast. And now, of course, with the little one, a weekend trip to watch high school basketball without the family family does not get the approval of the wifey, but one day it will.
Yeah, when you're old like me, you got no kids in the house, you can go and do that for a weekend. You know, it's greatness. So,
right.
yeah.
But man, there is some amazing basketball played once you get to that level, featuring the best teams in the state. Always super exciting. All right, so as we keep sports trend going, how about those Chiefs?
I'm stunned. And we talked or texted after the Chiefs won the AFC Championship, and I said, I'm just shocked that the Chiefs won that game, right? And you said, I'm not. I mean, because you kind of knew they have the heart of the champion. They know how to win in those situations. But the Bills were a better team, and Kansas City found a way to beat them. And Baltimore was a much better team, and Kansas City found a way to beat them. And so, here they go to the Super Bowl again, probably against a better team, San Francisco, but I wouldn't be shocked at all to see the Chiefs figure out a way to win that game.
Yeah, I've definitely got the Chiefs winning. I think you go back to the point in the season when they were 8-6, 8-5, and, Chiefs Nation knew it was over. Doom and gloom. And I'm pretty sure I predicted right on this show they were going to get hot and they were probably going to win it all again. And you thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
Here they are in the Super Bowl with a chance to beat the 49ers. And I'm telling you, it's about time that we can admit Patrick Mahomes is probably going to end up in the conversation with Tom Brady as the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a really good chance that, in a few years, I mean, they're already talking about it right now. Like you said, who's the greatest of all time? Is it Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, it's Tom Brady right now.
Right
There's
now,
no
it
doubt.
is. Yeah. But I mean, and don't forget, Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls. I mean, John Elway won 2, and Joe
Eli
Montana,
Manning won 2, Ben Roethlisberger has 2. I mean, you've got a lot of quarterbacks that have 2 and a lot that have 1.
There's a difference between winning Super Bowls and being great.
Oh, yeah.
And Tom Brady is obviously the GOAT, greatest of all time. But Patrick Mahomes is right up there, and I think a lot of it will depend on how long Coach Reeves sticks around, how long Kelsey stays healthy. I mean, and talk about a miraculous turnaround. How about Kelsey in the postseason, man? He's just been unreal. And then MVP with that catch at the end to win the game.
More catches, Travis Kelsey, than any other pass catcher in postseason history. He passed Jerry Rice in that game. Unbelievable.
And it's not flukish. I mean, that first touchdown catch that he caught was a crazy catch.
The one over the middle on 3rd and 7.
Oh, yeah, diving flat out.
I mean,
it's crazy.
So this is what the Chiefs have, is Patrick Mahomes. And I know Andy Reid, everyone wants to talk about him, but he didn't ever do it before he had Patrick Mahomes.
No, he did
went
not.
to 5 conference championship games with a great Hall of Fame quarterback in Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
And great teams with Brian Westbrook and Brian Dawkins and Terrell Owens, and he could never get over the hump. Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable, Chris.
He's a
6
special one.
seasons, 6 trips to the AFC Championship game, hosting 5 of them, winning his first road playoff game on the road at the Bills last weekend, and does it again at Baltimore.
Yep.
He's got a chance to win his 3rd Super Bowl in his 6th season. If he plays 23 years like Tom Brady, he's getting 50.
Yeah.
Do the math.
I think, and I agree with you 100%, I think Andy Reid couldn't win the big game until Patrick Mahomes came along.
He's a great coach. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he would have been in the Hall of Fame.
But any coach is going to win titles when you've got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
Well, and go back and think of that first Super Bowl game where the Chiefs came from behind in the 4th quarter to beat the 49ers. Coach Reid did not win that game. He almost lost that game. It was Patrick Mahomes who said, here's what we're going to do. Patrick Mahomes won that game.
And Travis Kelsey and Tyreek Hill and the Wasp and the way that they communicated and connected on the field.
Yeah.
But early in the first half, Chiefs fans were hollering at Reid for his game plan and how bad they looked and that he's never going to get to win one. Because you remember his first 5 years in Kansas City, they went to the playoffs. They got a big lead going into halftime. They lost at Indy. They lost at Houston. They lost against Tennessee. They lost.
Yeah.
People were tired of Andy Reid. That's what he had been known for. Can't win the big game. Patrick Mahomes bailed him out, and he's going to go down as one of the greatest coaches of all times that never would have been had it not been for Patrick Mahomes.
But I think we can say that, too, for like Bill Belichick. He would not have been as great without Tom Brady. And Brady probably wouldn't have been as great without Belichick. It was kind of a marriage there. Same thing with what we've got in Kansas City.
50% of the years that Tom Brady's had a different coach other than Bill Belichick, he's Super Bowl champion.
That says a lot right there.
And Belichick's had 5 seasons now without Tom Brady, and he's now lost his job.
And could Patrick Mahomes go to any other team and win? Yes. Yes, he could.
Including the Los Angeles Lakers, the Chicago Cubs, the Buffalo Sabres, wherever it is, there's something about him that he is special.
Yeah.
And I said when Brady retired that no one would ever be able to get close because of the talent pool with the Herbert and the Burrow and the Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. But I've always come back to, I'm tired of hearing about him. None of them have dethroned Patrick Mahomes, and yet here we are again, and that is still true. And you've got all the other quarterbacks that continue to come in, but guess who remains? Feels like he's been in the league 30 years.
Yeah, and he's only
6th year as a starter.
He's only 28, right?
Something in the league, 28 years. Jeez. Unbelievable. All right, so hey, I want to congratulate Andrew Evans on being the Lake TV Pick'em champion.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
We got our trophy here somewhere, Slumberland.
Where's that at? You know, so I came in second, I think, and the game.
Well, you might come in second because I might win the Super Bowl, and then I would jump into second if you didn't.
Good luck with that. So I took Detroit, right? And
so did I.
It's right. And I didn't necessarily really think Detroit was going to win, but I had to win that game in order to catch Andy. And I thought early on I was going to win that.
17-point halftime lead. Come on, man.
They blew it. They just blew it.
Come on, man. That's crazy. But congrats to Andrew. Kevin wins last year, Andrew wins this year, meaning the 3rd year is the charm for Wild Will, finally.
4th year. I won 3 years ago.
But it didn't include we got to get your name engraved on the trophy. But that's when the competition level was much lower. Ricky was in our league.
Yeah, well, we got to throw the riffraff out, and, just make it real here.
All right, hey, real quick, upcoming events around the lake area. Don't miss next Saturday. It's Daybreak Rotary's big annual fundraiser, Winterfest. They've got a Boots and Bow Ties theme going on, and this event, incredible. The local charity supports 40 local charities, but doesn't just stay there. They impact the state, the country, and globally, doing great things, your local Rotary. So mark your calendar, Saturday, February 10th. It's Winterfest with the Boots and Bow Ties Gala at Lodge 4 season's going to be pretty great. As we look at what's going on around Lake TV, boy, I know we're gearing up for a huge spring and summer season. We got new shows we're excited to tell you about. Can't tell you yet. New projects, new hires, new all kinds of stuff. But in the meantime, still great content. You mentioned still 6 high school basketball games on the docket through the rest of this month. Next 2 Fridays, of course, great games. And our Community Spotlight show, been watching that the last couple weeks a little more intentionally. Really get a chance to get to know these people on Lake TV's Community Spotlight show. And this week, you got Corey and Cassandra Vaughn with Ethos 360. Tell us a little bit about them because they're awesome.
So it's right here in our community, and a lot of people don't know what Ethnos 360 is. It's a training center for missionaries who go out all over the world to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. So that's right here in our area. That's in Roach, Missouri, and most people have never heard of it. So Corey and Cassandra, a married couple, and they're part of the Ethnos 360 team that teaches these missionaries who go out. Just a young couple. Farmers, grew up farmers in Kansas, went to K-State. They're big K-State fans. Try not to hold that against them. But really a neat, fun story, great stuff. So yeah, be sure to join us for the Spotlight Show every day, at 9, 3, and 9, I think.
Yep,
yeah.
9, 3, and 9. Of course, the High School Basketball Coaches Show. Catch that 3 times a day, 6:30, noon, 6:30, of course, AM and PM. And all kinds of platforms to get your Lake TV content, your shows, your live stream. We're excited to announce you can now catch Lake TV on our exclusive app partner, the LOZ app. You can download that now in the iTunes or Apple or Google Play Store. Pretty incredible this last year. It's hard to believe we're already headed into the month of February. What are you most looking forward to this upcoming season here at Lake TV?
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Lake Race, with the shootout taking over Lake Race.
Shootout offshore.
Right, well, there you go, shootout offshore. It's not Lake Race anymore, right? Shootout offshore. And I think that is going to be a earth-shaking change. I think that first race of the year will rise up to the level almost of shootout every year. And I think that's going to be a great thing for the lake.
And as I agree. I'm looking forward to it. We already talked about how that's such a big win. You take an event like that, you get the biggest name in offshore racing shootout associated with it, their board, their leaders, their organization, and their support and sponsors and volunteers. Game changer. Going to be pretty incredible. But I wanted to ask real quick, because we're already seeing it everywhere. It's a stinking election year, and it's all we're seeing. So I know you keep your finger on the pulse. Are you looking forward to this election season? Are you scared? Are you worried? Or what's your mindset like headed in?
I'm a little worried, because 2020 was crazy. It was wild and nuts and this and that, and I think we're probably in store for that again.
So I'm kind of looking forward just to watching it unfold, because we're living in unprecedented times. We're living in the history books one day, maybe. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake.